Think about the last time you left a conversation feeling off. Not angry, not exactly hurt, just unsettled. Like something didn't sit right, but you couldn't explain what it was. Now here's the uncomfortable question. What if that wasn't random? Manipulation doesn't look like control. It looks like normal conversation, normal care, normal interaction. That's why most people don't see it, not because they're unaware, but because it doesn't feel like something is being done to them. It feels like something is wrong with them. And once that shift happens, everything else becomes easier to influence. Let's go deeper. And as we go through these, don't just listen. Notice what feels familiar. 7 signs someone is manipulating you. 1. Gaslighting. You say something happened, something you clearly remember, and they look at you calmly and say, "That never happened." Now pause. You don't argue immediately, do you? You hesitate. You replay it in your head. Wait, did I get it wrong? That hesitation, that's the entry point. Because once you start questioning your own memory, you slowly start relying on theirs instead. And once that dependence begins, the next step becomes much easier. 2. Guilt. You don't want to do something. You've already decided. Then they say, "After everything I've done for you." And just like that, your decision starts to feel heavy. Now, you're not choosing based on what you want. You're choosing based on what you owe. That's not connection. That's emotional leverage. But here's where it gets even more subtle. Sometimes it's not what they say. It's how they disappear. 3. Inconsistent attention. One day they're fully present, engaged, warm, interested. And the next, distant, cold, hard to read. Let me ask you something. Which version of them stays in your mind longer? The consistent one, or the one that suddenly pulls away? Exactly. Because your brain starts chasing clarity, not connection. And that chase keeps you attached. And when you're already trying to fix the connection, it becomes much easier to shift the responsibility. 4. Blame shifting. They say something hurtful. You react. And suddenly, the conversation is no longer about what they did. It's about how you reacted. Now you're explaining yourself, apologizing, fixing something that you didn't create. Over time, this does something dangerous. It trains you to carry responsibility for everything. And once you're used to carrying that weight, even small suggestions start to feel like pressure. 5. Subtle pressure. It's your choice. Sounds fair, right? But then they add, "I'd just be disappointed if you didn't." Now pause again. Are you really choosing? Or are you trying to avoid the discomfort they just created? That's how pressure works when it's disguised as freedom. And eventually, even your own words stop feeling safe. 6. Word twisting. You say, "That bothered me." They respond, "So now I'm the bad guy?" Notice what just happened. Your concern became an attack, and now you're defending something you never said. Over time, it becomes easier to stay quiet than to be misunderstood. And when you stop expressing yourself, there's only one thing left to rely on. The feeling. Not what they say, not what they do, but how you feel after. You leave the interaction and something feels off. You're tired, confused, slightly anxious. even when nothing obvious happened. That's not random. That's your mind reacting to something it couldn't fully process. Here's why this works. Manipulation doesn't force you. It shifts you. Slowly, subtly, until you're no longer thinking clearly, you're reacting emotionally. And the moment you start recognizing these patterns, something changes. You stop second-guessing yourself. You start noticing shifts. And most importantly, you start protecting your energy. Because real connection doesn't leave you confused. It leaves you clear.